Welcome to the Ring Masters Podcast, Chicago's most trusted source to educate, guide, and give you tips and advice for choosing and purchasing the right diamonds, custom engagement rings, and wedding bands. Here's our expert design chief, Kurosh Dineshkar, and our diamond experts, Maury Taffershy and Terry Hanley. This podcast is brought to you by Chicago's own Wedding Bands and Company, where we believe marriage is too important for ordinary jewelry.
Here we are with another episode of Ringmaster with Terry Hanley and Maury Taffershy. We love to bring some value to our listener and give insight while you're shopping for engagement ring and picking a diamond for your loved one and start the new journey in your life. Today we are going to talk about what kind of ring is going to suit her hand, what kind of style you're going to pick. So in previous episode we talked about things it was necessary before, and right now we assume you're past this stage, or maybe you skip and just come to this part of the podcast. Welcome. So the size of first we start with the shape of diamond. As a designer, I want to say pretty much any shape, if you have a right setting, is going to be nice and beautiful on the hand of a person. The diamond present by the setting. So it is important there is a harmony between the setting you choose and the diamond. They're gonna work perfectly together, but at the same time you have to see what you're gonna pick overall as a ring regarding her hand.
The overall. Yeah.
So I wanna say for the diamond shape, and I wanna also hear Maury and Terry about this. With my 30 years experience, the diamond shape is a personal preference, and it's something you guys can talk about it before, and it's something you can spy what kind of shape she usually get in others.
Admires in her friends, your friends' rings.
But I want to say always round is the best choice.
Classic.
And this classic is gonna create the most sparkle, and pretty much you can do many things with it.
Timeless, absolutely timeless. Yeah, most of your fancy shapes, princess cuts, cushion cuts, pear shapes, ovals, they all kind of tend to move in trends, whereas the round brilliant cut absolutely is your absolute constant demand, constant supply. Pricing is always going to be very, very level on them. Round brilliant is also the most efficient to cut to its ideal proportions and give you maximum brilliancy, meaning that on the fancy shapes, if they're cut perfectly to accomplish maximum brilliancy, the stone's going to look smaller than the stone is in actual weight because it's going to require a lot more depth. So round brilliance is always my number one suggestion, number one selection. And again, can play, now it gets into what size it is, but can play into any finger size, any hand shape, hand size, just because of the symmetry of it being round brilliant.
Yeah, pretty much I always tell my clients that, go with whatever shape and style that she likes or the partner likes, because, if she doesn't like the marquee shape and you buy a 3-carat marquee shape, she's not going to like it, period. But then if she likes a couple of other shapes and you just, as long as you like it or she likes the design of the ring, she's going to go with it. It doesn't matter if it's a round or a cushion, because overall she's the one, or that person is the one who's going to be wearing it for the rest of their life. And then I always tell them to listen to them. If you have no clue, talk to the friends, get the help of the Pinterest, go online to see what she has liked, what she has, clicked on, and then give us some idea based on that, and then we're going to use it as a base for the design, and then we're going to modify it based on the size and shape of the center stone.
I always remember this story of, when we were talking about the shape. Is shapes represent a feeling to people, and I have a client who's a very well-known violinist, and she really loved Marquis, and I kind of asked her, so how come you picked the Marquis? She said that I had a teacher who taught me a violin many years, and she had a very successful marriage, and she had a Marquis, and I always see that when I was a kid, and she's wearing that Marquis, and right now I wanna get Marquis. I wanna have exact similar ring she had, to remember the day I go there and I see her husband come in and kiss her, and that's exactly we are looking for. So,
and the type of relationship you're looking for represents that type of relationship. Yeah, cool.
So,
that's a great story.
So, but it is important to you ask your girlfriend what kind of shape she like, and then we come to the point. We have so often people, they come in here, I'm here to try all the shapes, and I want to know which one I'm gonna like more. So that we always show them that when we get guests like that, they're coming, one of the things we offer here in our company is education, and no pressure on the self. We just sit with you, and we're gonna go through everything, and we are one of the things, as I always do, I give my professional opinion. Like Terry said, round is, as far as everything you think about a sparkle, it's a great choice, but obviously we have to see what is connection in unconsciously between that round diamond and what she think. And I have seen people, they say, I hate princess cut because that. So can we talk about cuts are absolutely non-popular? Heart shape. Yeah.
Heart shape.
Triangle.
Nothing wrong with heart shapes. They're great in necklaces and things like that. In a ring, they're always hard
to design.
Design around, work around, things like that.
Triangular. Have you sold triangle?
I sold one long time ago, probably 7-8 years ago, but that was the only one. But it was a 3-stone ring.
Yeah.
But it did come out really nice for the side stones that they picked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, if we want to put the shape of diamond by order, we as 2000. Right now we are recording this podcast. It's 2020, and we hope this is gonna stay for a while and we update it. But as of now,
well, again, as I had mentioned earlier, round brilliant is always constant, always consistent, and I would say is still in today's market always the number one in demand stone.
And second,
and again, the others move in trends. I think we're just coming kind of out of a trend right now of the cushion cuts, and kind of moving into, I mean, ovals have been very hot, but again, I'm also seeing pear shapes. I'm also seeing marquis starting to brew here. So in terms of what that demand's going to be in the market in the next months, even year to come, will be interesting to see. Right now, I would say it's ovals, though. It's kind of where we are at this particular moment in history.
And then other thing I want to add is sometimes you looking for to create a special look on the whole ring, and then you need a specific diamond. For example, if somebody wants to create a Edwardian, old-fashioned, very antique style design, my recommendation is go with cushion, because cushion is coming, looks like a minor old cut, and if you bring that to that design, you bring harmony, and everything is going to work out better. So we want to talk about the setting right now, what kind of setting it goes with your hand, because that, let's put it that way, what about the whole ring? to go with the set, with the design of the ring goes with the hand.
Well, yes, I think it's extremely important with how it plays on the hand, but it's also extremely important as to how it plays with her personality. You know, every woman is going to want to wear something that's very comfortable for her. So I think that, you know, not only looking at it in perspective with her hand and her fingers, but also in perspective with her personality.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I always say that to the clients that, you know, I don't tell them to forget about the market, whatever is popular or is not popular. I always say, listen to your partner, to see what they like, because, you know, I've noticed it in the last few years, I would say 2 to 3 years, my clients who went with the pear shape and the cushion and oval shaped diamonds, they went to the bigger sizes, so 1.5 to 3 carats. But then the ones who purchased round diamonds, they were mostly from 1 to 1.5 or 1.8. I don't know why, but I guess that you know, mostly as far as I'm concerned as a jeweler, is when you go with the fancy shape, because they're gonna have a deeper, you know, they're gonna be a deeper diamond, so you gotta get a bigger stone to make it look bigger, as big as a round, you know. But I still, at the same time, as Terry said, I closely listen to the client to see that what is the design that they tell me to do, because that's going to show their personality. That's what they're like. They're not going to tell me what kind of person they are, but by just describing the design of the ring, I can find out,
Yeah.
you know, what kind of background they have or what they like.
Well, I would say, if one of the other way you can technically use the opinion of the designer you're working with is to bring a picture of her hand and show it to them, or you look at the hand. If she has a long finger and long hand, and it's you need to design something a little bit wider. If you make a 2mm band and she has a very beautiful long finger, that ring is gonna get lost. So you need to give a little bit of width of the whole ring. Maybe you do a split shank, you do a little bit wider design, and you can discuss this with her. So you see, you can even try it, but I try a couple ways. But and then if somebody has a short finger, if you put something wider and then you put the wedding band, it is going to be uncomfortable. So you have to consider which way you go, and then you have to get the opinion of the jeweler you work with, if they and the designer you work with, and ask them what do you think is going to go, if you're doing this all by yourself. And one thing I want to say, if she has just a regular hand and it's just not too big, not too little, like average, we can say mid-size, then you can go with a 2-3 millimeter band. And one thing I recommend our listener to go to our blog, and I wrote a blog post about ring style, and you can see on that blog how we put picture. Other thing I want to say, and I'm going to confirm with you guys, last year in 2019 we did so many ring with Nura design, and I asked our listener to go in our website and check Nura design, and
NOU, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
NOU.
Just if you're searching for it.
Yeah.
Wonderfully classic look. Again, the Nora design. It's almost that traditional, very traditional solitaire, just with additional diamonds running down the shank portion of it on each side of the center diamond. It's a wonderfully classic, simple, timeless look that will forever be a beautiful piece on her. Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, as Corey said, what we are saying here is just we're giving you some ideas so you can use it as a guideline to help you to find the right design. But there is no rule or there is no law that you have to go based on that. It goes back again what she likes, and you know the person that I want to mention that their finger size was 3.5, and she purchased a 3.5 carat cushion, and the ring is way huge. It's like a 7.5 millimeter with the 2 1 carat side diamonds. is really, really big ring, that's how she likes
She
it.
loves it.
She loves it.
That's it.
You know, if I look at it, I'm not gonna say I dislike it, but then I say I wouldn't buy that for my wife. But then that's what she likes.
Yeah.
That's what she's gonna wear.
Yeah. Another thought here too, when talking about the Karush mentioning the more elongated fingers, long slender hands, going with a little wider band and things like that. If that's the direction you're kind of going, something to keep in mind, that is where the more elongated stones can come into play beautifully, especially if you're looking to be a little bit budget conscious and need to go with something a little bit smaller in size, because you've got that length, so that plays in easily and beautifully with the design aspects of the piece.
So technically we can size any ring, as I explained. As ring can be go down and up, but we don't want to be off. If you sizing a ring 2 or 3 size, and that's going to damage the ring, because ring has to be totally rounded, and if you make the ring 3 sizes smaller, the diamond on the shoulder, they can become loose and they can come out. So it's again, going back, if somebody has a family heirloom and it's beautiful and the diamond you want to use, but the size is 10 or 8 and you want to, she's size 4, that's not gonna work. So one other thing is if you are going to get the diamond ring to her, and let's say you propose and you are a little bit off, maybe half a size, and you want to come back to size it, of course you can. And one thing I recommend to have a little bit of sizer, Terry, what do you call those rope you put inside the ring?
Adjuster. Well, and that was something I was going to bring up in regards to knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do deal with a lot of women that have that little larger knuckle, a little smaller finger. So no matter what you do, you're going to get a lot of movement on that ring once it gets on the finger. So what Karush is speaking of right now is also a good remedy for that. But it's just kind of a little quick sizer piece that kind of fits into the back. It can be either in metal, or actually they're doing a very cool little one now in rubber that seems
silicone,
to work really with silicone, which really seems to work well. Those are always a good temporary cure until you get the ring sized. And when you present the ring, it's way too big. It's also a good cure if knuckles are the issue and the ring's moving around. But there's also other options there, which I don't necessarily think we should dive into at this moment. But there are a lot of other options there to deal with that issue in itself.
So the sizing a ring, it's we can kind of summarize is you have to have some idea. You can ask her to give you some idea, or you guys gonna go a little bit shopping and ring picking, and
or
secretly
scarf one of her rings,
yes.
Noticing which finger she wears it on. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it would be on the ring finger, more than likely on the right hand, being the left hand is the wedding ring. More than likely it's the right hand. Always keep in mind there's about a size difference between the two hands. Your dominant hand tends to run about a size larger. So, but if you can luck into that and happen to hit into a ring that she wears on that finger, that's perfect. Because we can take that and then make an adjustment on that.
One thing I want to say, I want to say I'm proud of it. I had 2 cases which I found perfect size for my client with a picture of hand, which I asked him to bring a picture of her hand holding a subject. Could be a soda can, beer bottle, and if they give me that and you work with a professional designer, they can figure out. They can get very, very close. And I remember in both cases, the size was so perfect. I was surprised myself.
That's pretty amazing.
But I spent time. They sent me a picture, and I actually, it's a great article. If I put this in our website, I just thought about it right now.
I mean, most likely, my experience is 8 out of 10 guys are wrong when it comes to the ring sizing. But then I would always suggest them the best possible way is ask a sister. If they don't have a sister, is a friend, because the ladies, they are extremely meticulous about these things, about the ring sizing. So even if they don't know exact size, but they know exactly her hand, how it looks compared to theirs. So if they don't know what the finger size she's wearing, I mean the ring size, but they know theirs, so they're gonna compare it to theirs and say, okay, the guy is gonna ask them and say, okay, mine is 4.5, so Jennifer, for example, is gonna be 4.75, because it's a little bit bigger than mine.
And among sisters, among best friends, let's face it, they all try each other's rings on.
Oh yeah, all the
like
time.
They know.
So
they
they're
know.
gonna have a good, good insight.
Instinct, yeah. To me, that's the best possible way,
Right.
instead of
Yeah.
trying out different things.
I wish one day we're gonna bring a woman in our podcast as a guest and ask some of these questions. So
Oh, that's
we
a
hope
good
that's
thought.
a
Yeah.
good
One of our
topic.
clients.
One of our
Yeah,
clients.
one of our clients is the best
yeah.
possible way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
actually
they've
a
been
great
through the
thought.
whole thing, so they know exactly what it was.
And again, with sizing, and I know I keep, and you will hear throughout these podcasts, as we keep coming back to this issue, but always keep in mind, this is about romance. This is about surprise. This is about romance. So don't blow the surprise. I mean, if you have that secrecy going at this point, don't blow that surprise for the ring size. We can deal with that. So protect that.
Yeah, if you have a jeweler and designer, they have enough experience. So I always say to client, in past 20 years, we have it in Bands Company, we serve more than 10,000 customers. So we know everything. We have to give you right advice, and we have to take you to the right steps. That's why you come in here, and you want to bring all the information, and we see what kind of information you have, and then we give you direction. I remember in past somebody came up with a piece of paper. It was a bear coaster with the size finger, like a holes she can put the finger. And this you can buy, I don't know they sell it or not, you can buy this and randomly give it to your waiter. He's gonna bring it and put it on the table. And then
cool.
She's gonna say, what is this? So, I don't know. And then she's gonna try, say, oh, I'm size 6. So this is one of the way, it's gonna be a fun way to do it.
I like that idea.
Yeah. So it's just there's a lot of fun way you can find out. One other thing is when she's asleep. So there are ring sizer which they're plastic, and we offer them for free. You can, when she's asleep, just make sure she's not gonna, maybe after a heavy drink or something.
Yeah, I usually tell them, give him a couple of shots of tequila, and then having a good time. No, on the night that you're having a good time, not purposely. But then you're having fun, and then you can take the ring size.
That's one way. But again, we have to make sure she's not swallowing. So always friends, family, they're great sources. Resources, so you can go and ask, and then not worry about you are going to do damage if you size a ring. A ring can be sized with no issue, but one exception: if you do eternity band. If she asks for eternity band,
as you get into the wedding dance.
Well, even I had
engagement. Yeah, you're right.
I had a couple
the shank
design.
It goes all the way around.
She wants the diamond all the way around.
Right.
So, and particularly that person, she asked for eternity band diamond all the way around. I'm sure you have her size.
Yeah.
So,
and be sure you have her size.
Yeah.
If you do that.
So because eternity is more complicated. Again, it's not end of the world. We can size it, but it's some limitation at that one. So, sizing a ring is it's a challenge, but it's a risk like anything in the life, and we have to take a risk. Yesterday I was listening to Jim Rohn. I always love this guy, and he was saying, well, the life is full of risk. If you don't take a risk, so you stay home. you don't come out
You
from
don't
the
learn
home, because
anything.
if you come out from home, there is a risk you're going to be hit by car. So you stay home? No. And other thing he was saying, he says, if you want a life with no risk, what about we give you a place? We give you a food 3 times a day. We're not bothering you. We give you clothing and everything, and you don't have to do nothing.
It's called the state penitentiary.
Yes, exactly. Is that life has a meaning? So it comes back to, I had a client right after we had a podcast about go ask her parents, and I brought this up, and he said, can I return the ring? And I said, if you want to return the ring, you should buy it from big corporation, which they already have. They give you 30 days, and there's totally different route to go. Or you go to website and you buy something and you return it, is it good or bad? But if you're looking for do a stunning ring and do something customized and beautiful, and somebody take you through, there is no return. Most of the jewelers, you work with them, they're artists, it's like you're creating something, is yours. But I told him, you have to take a chance. He says, what about she doesn't like it, or what about she said no? I said, what are you gonna do? You're gonna continue to get the yes, if it's the person you want. And if you think that's not gonna work, you're gonna go to the next person. So that's how we learn to walk. We fail, we wake up, and we continue until we learn walking. We didn't just fail and it says, oh, we fail, we're not gonna walk anymore. And that's how everything is in the life.
So, yeah, and again, I mean, sizing in itself, the thing to keep in mind, it's not the end of the world. And as important as it is, what's most important is that she can put it on her finger when you present it to her.
Terry, something you brought up about the ring with the hand with the big knuckle. I think this is something we can address.
Yeah.
What's the remedy for it?
Well, I mean, it's first off, it's sizing it as tightly as possible over that knuckle to get as minimal movement once you got it on, although that's always a long shot. We use, sometimes we'll use either beads or a bridge. And the beads are just look like little BBs out of a BB gun. And we just will literally solder 2 of them on the interior of the shank. That gives you the room to kind of maneuver those over the larger knuckle and gives it a little bit of grip once you have that on.
Which we call them as stabilizers.
Stabilizers, yeah. Actually, that is the word we use for them. And then there's also a bridge version, which is kind of a little arc that we'll install inside the shank area. In gold or in platinum, we'll make either of those out of the same thing the ring is in. And they're permanent. So, I mean, they can be removed if ever need be, but they are permanent. And, we can kind of do that arc or the size of those beads according to, how much of a variance between that knuckle and the infinger. So they are a good remedy, and they do. Now, there is also something out there that I kind of reserve for my more elderly clients, where the knuckles become a bigger issue.
In anniversary cases.
Anniversary case, things like that. And that is what's called a finger made or finger fit shank style, which is actually a hinge style, and we go in and replace half the shank. Excuse me. We go in and replace half the shank. And this literally opens and closes. Mm-hmm. So it's very cool because you can open it up, put it on, snap it closed. It's going to give you a tight fit. I had a client years ago, a very, very prominent Chicago family. She had an incredible, wonderful couple, incredible collection of Art Deco pieces that were long-term family pieces. And as she aged, as she got into her 80s and 90s, she just kind of really began to shrink and get very small. And it was breaking her heart because she couldn't wear any of these rings. I mean, they were because of her knuckles versus the finger. And so we threw a whole series of them. We went in and put in these finger fit shanks. She loved them. She absolutely went on and on for years about how terrific they were.
More recently, you had a project which you put through May.
She was after the 15th anniversary. She sent the ring back. She had bought the ring from us, and she was in California. She lives in California right now. She was in Chicago 10 years ago, but then she said that I really love the ring, but I want to use it every day. So we had to do we took half the shank and we do the bridge, the hinge. and she's extremely happy with it.
Yeah. They're great, man. They're not inexpensive. They're costly.
They're costly.
They also do require a little bit of maintenance through the course of time, but the one primary supplier we use on that, they actually offer warranty on it and service and all that kind of good stuff. So it is, but it does require a little bit of maintenance. But that is a great remedy, again, especially as we as women tend to age and kind of begin to lose some of that size and stuff. So anyway, that's a long way off, guys. Don't worry about that at this point.
But for anniversary pieces, we can
absolutely.
do. And then one thing is, I want to say these the mechanism which added to ring has to be measured with different tools. It's not something you can do it. She has to come. We use a special tool and we measure her finger on the knuckle and after the knuckle. And there is going to be, let's say, on the knuckle size is 8, after the knuckle is size 6.5. So they calculate this and they make a mechanism. When it's open, it's going to be 8.5 or 8, I said. And then when you close, the shank is going to come down to size 6.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You don't see anything. And we have done it. We offer here repair and professional maintenance. And is this something, if you like to do it in one of your old pieces, we love to help you on that. And also, if you're doing anniversary, I'm sure there is so many back and forth. That is something you guys going to do together. So if I see the situation, we're going to bring it up and we're going to show it to you. All right. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you
so much.
We appreciate it.
Please check our website through us email. If you have any question, leave a comment or send us directly email. Again, thank you so much and have a pleasant day.
Take care.
Take care.
This podcast is brought to you by Chicago's own Wedding Bands and Company, where we believe marriage is too important for ordinary jewelry.